Greetings everybody, this is Shariar and you're watching All of Your Business. Like every day, we have some major economic developments to discuss. And without any further delay, let's talk about them with our guest, Mr. Mehtab Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Sir, I would like to start today's interview with the first question, and that is Sindh defers 45% agriculture tax, income tax for 1 year, restores 15% rate through new ordinance. Sir, what impact it is going to leave on for the people, agriculture people?
Actually, agriculture income tax was one of the major condition of the IMF. And keeping in view this major demand of the IMF, all the four provinces amended their respective provincial agriculture income tax along with the budget in the last financial year, and it was imposed, and its collection was to be collected with effect from July 1, 2025.
Right.
As you know, under the income tax law, it is your income of the earned in the last financial year on which everyone is supposed to pay the tax. And under the agriculture income tax, its rates was raised to equivalent to personal income tax, which at the moment hovers around 5% to 35%.
Right.
And for upper or higher income brackets, there is also super tax. So for effective, if someone is earning more than 1 million rupees,
Right.
in case of personal income tax, its effective tax rate becomes 40% to 45%. So keeping in view the rates of the personal income tax, all the provinces increased and raised the agriculture income tax.
Right.
But Sindh as well as Punjab was bit reluctant to impose agriculture income tax because there are feudals who also belong to the political class, so they were not ready. And there is also another excuse that keeping in view the recent floods, so they deferred the collection of the agriculture income tax. First of all, Punjab took this decision, and now Sindh has promulgated an ordinance
Right.
so that for the next 6 months there will be no collection on part of the agriculture income tax. That is very significant development. Why? Because retailers are not paying up to the mark. Agriculturers, income earners are not paying up to the
To the
mark.
mark.
There is burden only for the two sectors. One is the formal sector of the manufacturing sector, and another one is the voiceless salaried class. So they have been burdened really. So there is a need to broaden the tax base.
Right.
So everyone should pay the taxes.
So, sir, it's sort of a relief for the people,
It's sort
Sort
of
of a relief.
relief for the
agriculture people.
income who are earning more than 0.6 million income on per annum basis.
Per annum basis, right. Sir, my next question is quite innocent and dangerous as well. So we have been talking about regarding the fuel prices, that we might see a decline in the fuel prices. In the previous podcast, we have talked about it. But now there are reports that government is all set to increase the fuel prices. So what factors might have led to this decision, and what next in the future regarding the fuel
Actually,
prices?
this petroleum prices are linked with the international prices.
Yeah.
So if the prices will go up, the domestic consumers will have to pay more. And keeping in view this international trend, there is possibility of slight surge or bit increase in the prices, because otherwise the government will have to give the subsidy if the government wants to keep the prices at the existing level. And under the IMF program, we are bound not to raise the subsidy amount under the IMF program. But there is one thing more. IMF becomes lenient when there is relief for the agriculturist or for the other segments of the society.
Right.
But when there is a issue of subsidy or providing relief to the masses, then it's difficult to convince the IMF.
Right.
That is another reason that there might be some increase for the next on the fortnightly basis, because there is a need to understand the mechanism as well. AGRA and Ministry of Petroleum will prepare a summary and its projections, and they will share it with the Ministry of Finance.
Right.
Ministry of Finance then will seek the permission of the Prime Minister, and then they are going to take decision on the midnight on the 31st of October. So there is a possibility that we might see some surge in the petroleum prices, including petrol and diesel.
Sir, I hope it's not going to be a considerable
Of
increase.
course, it's a slight
Minor.
increase because, according to the calculations, they are just preparing the summary.
Right.
It will be around more than 1.5
Right.
rupee per liter
Right.
in petrol and diesel, but there might be some more increase in the kerosene oil.
Okay. Okay.
So it depends on the working as well as on the existing prices in the international market.
Sir, Pakistan has received the first ever shipment of US crude oil following the trade deal, and reportedly 1 million barrels have been shipped to Pakistan. Sir, how it is going to change the picture regarding petroleum and oil, maybe the prices and everything?
Actually, this time in the last financial year, Pakistan's import bill on account of POL products was hovering around $15 billion.
Okay.
So it's a significant development only on account that Pakistan and United States have struck a trade deal under which they have reduced the tariff on Pakistani products, the products which are meant for exports from Pakistan. But Pakistan have to reciprocate it on its imports as well. And one of the area is the petroleum products import from the United States. Its first shipment has reached to Pakistan, and the second shipment is expected in mid-November,
Right.
and third one is expected in the next calendar year. So we are going to diversify our imports because we are at the moment are importing POL products major from the GCC market, from the Middle East and the Gulf region. Now we are diversifying it, and now the United States WTI is also being reached to Pakistan.
Right.
It will help to diversify, but I don't think that there will be much difference on the prices, on
Right.
the domestic prices.
That's what I was about to
Because logistics cost will have some minor impact,
Right.
upsurge in the domestic prices, but I don't think there will be too much impact of this because its portion is very negligible in overall imports.
Right, right. So my next question to you is that the Securities Exchange Commission of Pakistan, it is moving for the reforms of cost audit reforms framework that is being happening to increase the transparency after receiving feedback from the makers that it needs to be updated. So what sort of reforms are we going to see? And second question is this, that how it is going to affect the all over the
Actually,
process.
at the moment, the regulator, Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, is consulting with the relevant stakeholders.
Right.
They have already conducted a workshop, and they have recently conducted the second one. Now,
So regarding the audit?
regarding these reforms, because effective audit will help to ensure transparency. Because audit making audit effective means that you are going to save a rupee. If you are going to save a rupee, it will help to ensure that it's going to increase your overall tax revenue, as well as it will help to reduce expenditures.
Right.
And for the purpose of transparency,
Right.
for the big firms, it is very important that there is a need to revise the cost audit firms framework. So now the SECP is going to update it and will come up with the new regulations.
Sir, how it is going to affect the people who are working? Are they going to face a lot of scrutiny regarding their salaries or and
No,
position?
there will be no such thing. But overall, you know, uh, we are just SECP is the regulator of public sector
Absolutely.
enterprises
Yeah.
as well as the private firms. And the private firms, there is a need to ensure an effective audit.
Right.
Effective audit means that their balance sheet should be treated in such a way that someone is trying to hide its real income for the purposes of taxes or showing some inflated
Yeah.
expenditure side. So there should be some transparency and a proper framework for this whole audit purpose. And making audit effective will definitely help to ensure transparency both in the public sector firms as well as among the private sector firms. For one thing, for the public sector SOEs, their losses, accumulated losses, runs into billions. There are few which are earning profits, but in recent past, we have seen that the overall, uh, despite getting grants around 1 trillion rupees, they are facing overall losses. So there is a need to ensure that their overall audit should be made more effective.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Always welcome.
That's all for today. For more updates, economic developments, keep watching All of Your Business.